Hello and welcome back to In Deep Crit. My name is Damien Humphreys.
My name's Luke Hindmarsh.
And we're back today with a little channel update. You've probably spotted that we've started releasing some content. A couple of things we've done some Project Zomboid playthroughs. An early access Blade Runner review have kind of crept out before this update. They snuck out under the radar. So we're just back to kind of update you on what we've got going on and make a statement of intent to get back to a regular recording schedule, right?
Probably very briefly explain ourselves as well. I mean, you've been off, you finished university on your drama degree, which is pretty impressive. I've written completely written a book in the time, but also had one get ready for publication and do all the nonsense that goes with that. And there's personal life stuff
and
to do with family
life
and
has
things.
turned up and,
You know how that is. But we're back and we're focused, and you'll notice that some of the videos that we've put out recently, there's some rather rapid change in like beard or moustache or hair or lack of it, or maybe even some more lines on the face and grey in the bit. It's because we've recorded it over the last stretch of time and just literally not had the chance to get round to sorting those things out. But the intent is back, the focus is back. And,
it is, yeah.
So what have we got lined up in the short term at least?
So alongside our Project Zomboid playthrough, which we've got, I think we've got 6 episodes out now. We've got another 5 in the bag, ready for me to edit and put out. So there's that going to keep coming. We've got, what have we got going on? We've got we should be receiving our copies of Blade Runner, the role-playing game from Free League. The Kickstarter is being fulfilled at the moment, so shipping is underway apparently. Very, very excited about that. So when that arrives, we'll do an unboxing video and then probably a more in-depth first look at that, followed by hopefully at some point a live play. But that's not that dependent on us getting a full group together, because it's very much set up for small group or indeed solo play. You know, the nature of the Blade Runner is you can run it with one GM, one player really easily. So
sort of fits a little bit more the feel of the films, a little bit more. In the meantime, we have also got some things that we've already recorded to do with, for example, a review of the Icewind Dale campaign for Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, which you ran and I played in, and took us about a year, I think, although that's because we were playing fortnightly.
It was the best part of a year fortnightly, maybe slightly over, I think.
Possibly slightly over. So that's going to be it. You know, when we're reviewing that, it's in depth. Likewise, we've got the Alien Colonial Marines Operations Manual, a bit of a mouthful, and we've got Aliens Destroyer of Worlds. We've got the review up for Destroyer of Worlds very shortly. The Colonial Marines Operations Manual is a campaign for Alien, which I am running at the moment. We were recording it with the intention of putting it out to you so you could see us run a game, see how it is actually played, and whether or not it therefore comes across better to you and you think this is a system we want to try, this is a campaign that we'd want.
You could always get entertained by me slipping in and out of an extremely bad American accent as well.
Let's not talk about accents. I can't do them to save my life. But, well, a couple of accents, but they're not very useful when they're the only ones you can do. So anyway, then you've got, with that we've had some technical issues. We've had a player had to drop out because he moved state, I think, and just didn't have the time anymore. We decided to plough on. So we've effectively got 4 episodes of that. So we're on about our 5th session. 4 of those 5 sessions are recorded because the second session we couldn't record. The first session there's some technical problems with. The third there's some technical problems with. The 4th is good. So
okay, good.
when we do our review, you might see we may or we may not put out that material. We may just include it in our review as here's an example of a section, and we'll see how that goes. But what else are we going to be doing? So now we're ironing out those technical issues. What else are we going to be running? We mentioned Blade Runner perhaps, but what else?
Yeah, Blade Runner. So I picked up Cthulhu Confidential, which is a pulp noir Cthulhu setting, kind of 1940s hard-boiled detective setting. We're using the Cthulhu mythos, and that's designed as a one-on-one role-playing system. So what I'll probably do, what I intend to do, is get 3, possibly 4 different players play the
Victims.
same. Sorry,
Victims.
Yeah. And play the same scenario with them, so we can see what differences. And maybe we won't kind of publish all of them, but maybe I'll do compare and contrast between various scenes within those scenarios and see how different people reacted to different role-playing stimuli, etc.
That's quite interesting because that would allow us to say, well, how as a GM do you have to respond to this, and why is that possibly a flaw with the module, or possibly a flaw with how it's being presented because this person didn't pick up that clue?
Yeah.
Different styles. I mean, I think I'm quite proactive as a player, which might be really irritating if I'm supposed to be in a sort of reactive scene. So
it'll be interesting for me to try and present the scenes in the same way to each player, right? Rather than, is it down to me? Is it what I've said that's clued you into something? So yeah, be an interesting experiment, I think. We've got Terminator role-playing game.
Yes, whether or not we do live or even recorded play of that, we'll have to see. We've got that. You're going to be running Earth Dawn.
Yeah, at some point. We've got a Zweihander campaign that's been going on for a while on a fortnightly basis, which isn't recorded.
For good reason.
Has been hugely enjoyable to play.
That's very kind of you. He has to say that because he doesn't want his characters to be killed in the next session, you see. So, that'll let us review the system, so we will do.
Yeah.
It is not the Zweihander starter set, for those who've noticed that that's coming out. I am not investing in that. They haven't sent us a copy. I've not asked them for a copy. Maybe they would, but this is the original, the game as it was originally published with its expansion. So there's that caveat. But
Yeah.
I think we can do a pretty thorough review of the system.
I think we do a very thorough review of it. Yeah. We've explored certainly a lot of the themes, a lot of the mechanics within the system. Yeah, there's plenty to get our teeth into there, I think.
I've got but have not yet run the One Ring second edition from Free League, and that's something that should be quite interesting because it's a take on Tolkien.
Yeah.
Those are either very successful or not pleasing to some people. So
yeah,
it'll be a question of where that particular campaign setting fits. And of course, alongside that, there are numerous other systems. We've been having a look at Vampire, for example, Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition.
We're playing some of that, yeah. We're playing some 2nd edition AD&D at the moment, right? Which is interesting. We could bring you some old school thoughts.
Yes.
On that topic, we've been playing around with a few different virtual tabletops as well. So we'll bring you our review of the main 3 being Roll20, Fantasy Grounds, and Foundry.
And we don't necessarily agree about the 3 of them. So this will be interesting. There might be a bit of a conflict over one of them in particular, which I think you, without naming it now, but there's one he really hates. I kind of quite like it. So
I'm certainly struggling with it. Yeah.
We'll see.
I think I used the word detest at one point.
Yes. So there's potential drama there. Anyway, if there's something you want to hear from us, a system that you'd like to recommend to us, we're going to be happy to check it out. We sometimes get sent things. If we do, we'll declare that we've been sent it. Won't change our review in the slightest. But for the most part, these are things that, if we're reviewing something and we don't declare that we've received a review copy, it means we've forked out our own money for it. Yeah. So, we're happy to do that because we love tabletop role playing and we'll continue to do so. But we're always open to new suggestions.
A couple more video game playthroughs as well, potentially. I mean, we've got more Zomboid to come.
Baldur's Gate 3, possibly.
Baldur's Gate 3, I think, would be a really good one. There's another panel from Hell coming up next month, which apparently they're going to declare the final release date, which should be early next year. So I think getting some of that up before the full release, because we've both had it on early access since it started.
Blood Bowl 3.
Have a look at some Civilization 6.
Oh yes,
There's a new free leader out for everybody, so I'm going to spend my afternoon this afternoon recording some of that and popping that up. That'll be a solo playthrough from me. Yeah,
I-
if there's
yeah.
anything else that you want us to look at, any new video games, TTRPGs, any topics we want to talk about, we've got a few funny anecdote videos and role-playing general topic discussions that we've got coming up as well.
Finally, we're going, since he's an actor, I'm a writer.
Out of work.
We know some people in the creative world. We know some people who are connected with the making of role-playing games to some extent. We're not going to lead with that, but what we might do is lead with some interviews or just general conversations with, for example, a fantasy writer I know pops straight to mind, and I will be knocking on that person's door and trying to get them to come on and answer some questions. Maybe hard questions, maybe easy questions. We'll see how it goes. Maybe some actors, maybe some people connected to, I won't say actors, we're not talking about Hollywood A-listers,
No.
because frankly, I haven't got a lot of time for them personally. But, you know, and that might be interesting from the thought and from the perspective of how do we put some of this, how is this useful to us as a role-playing?
Yeah,
Storytelling, the creativity there. Actually-
there's a crossover, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So that may be something that will at first seem a little bit odd. What's this? Hopefully, we'll give you some valuable insights from those people who
Indeed.
who step into our dungeon ready to be interrogated. I don't think
Brave
there's anything
fools.
else from
No,
us.
I don't think so. No.
But you know, pop us a comment, pop us a like, and if you're
Yeah.
crazy enough to follow, keep watching this space because there'll be more stuff
There will
all the
be
time.
more to come. Indeed.
Until
See
then,
you soon.
see you soon.